Alright, so Driving Me Crazy. This channel is actually a channel that we've been taking a look at for a while. Dennis over at Driving Me Crazy has a lot of great content, and he has admittedly favored the artistic side of his channel development over analytics. He has a genuine concern that to focus on analytics may somehow compromise what he wants to do at an artistic level, and we completely understand that.
So what we decided to do was to actually cater this channel review response to kind of dissect them into two different categories. So what Dan is going to do is cover the analytical side, and then I'm going to cover the artistic slash cosmetic side, and basically what we can do to help Drive Me Crazy, increase his views and, just general statistics through these suggestions.
And one thing to keep in mind, and especially in the case of this channel, is that obviously there is an extreme side of analytics where you simply get lost in the numbers and your only goal is to drive each metric. But there's certainly a lot of artistic channels on YouTube, and you definitely don't want to sacrifice what it is that brought you to YouTube, what it is that you have a passion for, because the reality is none of those metrics ever happen if you don't have passion for what you're doing and you stop creating videos.
And I personally think that is what DMC, that's what I'm going to call him. I think that's what DMC is a little bit worried about, is just kind of sacrificing who you are. Yeah, the gurus may say, well, follow the trend, we'll do this. He's not wanting to do that because that's not the type of videos he's wanting to upload. So we want to help him to, increase his own subject of videos, his own passions, because passion is going to ultimately be the key fire, I guess, to be able to increase the statistics.
And actually, while we're on the topic, coincidentally, Dennis just put out a video with the title Art.
What are the odds of this?
I know, right? What are the odds? Art versus analytics. So it's certainly something that he has actually been contemplating himself. There's always trying to weigh that desire to grow your channel, but again, not sacrificing what you believe are your core beliefs. So we think we're able to offer some sound advice that can help him improve his channel and allow him to stay true to who he is and what his channel is about. And with that, Jacob is going to get us started by taking a look at some of the cosmetic changes that Dennis may be able to implement to improve his channel.
So when it comes to cosmetics, I have 4 suggestions for Driving Me Crazy that I personally think is going to be able to drive some results, and they're actually fairly easy to accomplish. So the first one is going to be the custom URL. The custom URL is unlocked at 100 subscribers. Once you unlock that, you can create your own, and you can create something very easy for people to find. It's also very easy to remember when you create it, so it's very, quick to just throw it on. Somebody asks for your channel and you can just simply, spit out the link and, there you go. They can access your channel. You don't have to worry about copying and pasting, anything like that. So I definitely recommend you to use that feature if you have it unlocked, and in Driving Me Crazy's situation, he does have it. So I highly recommend him to use it. For number 2, the image on his channel, so the logo on the channel, as you can notice, it has a white background, and that means that he uploaded a non-transparent image. I would highly recommend you to upload a transparent image that basically eliminates the background, and it also increases the professionalism in doing so. And if you're worried about saying something like, oh, well, I don't have Photoshop or anything like that, there's actually a free website that you can use called GIMP. And it's a free software, like I said. We also have a link in the description to it as well if you're interested in trying it out. But I personally think that can up the quality of the channel when somebody goes to it. They're not going to say, oh, well, that's sloppy, or oh, well, that's not, the more professional thing to do. So I would definitely recommend Driving Me Crazy to update that. So for number 3, it's related to the watermark on the video. So currently it is a picture of Dennis, and it's not even the Driving Me Crazy logo, which you see pretty often on a lot of channels. But what we actually recommend is to change it to a subscribe button. The subscribe button is very small. It's something that sits off in the corner. It's a constant call to action, but it's more or less a type of subconscious call to action. You're not literally saying, oh, click on the bottom right where it says subscribe. You're not doing anything like that, but it's something that'll kind of linger in people's minds when they're watching your video. And we have proof that we basically have seen results that when you add that, you get a lot more subscribe clicks by just simply trading out your watermark. So the fourth and final suggestion that I have is related to channel organization. So Dennis actually posted a video a couple days ago talking about the importance of playlists, that, you know, what they can do to drive traffic to your channel. And I completely agree with it. So Dennis is already focused on creating very distinct playlists and kind of splitting up his content. So the next step is to get that type of concept put onto your actual channel. So what we would recommend is that you put some of those playlists onto your channel, move it horizontally so people can actually see what's within the playlist without having to actually click on it. And it also would be a good idea to maybe not leave just the uploads as the default first type of, you know, ribbon on your content. And what's cool about this is that you can actually put in, you know, what you want people to see. Maybe a certain playlist is what you're currently promoting. So go ahead and bump that up. And then let's say you focus on a different one at a different point in time. Simply switch it out. So that's something that you can do to kind of draw people's attention in. And I personally think that if you can follow these steps, and this is not just for driving me crazy, but this is just for everyone. If you can follow these steps, if you fall into any of these categories, you can definitely increase the results of your channel if you can do that. So that's kind of the cosmetic section that I'm covering. So Dan is actually going to cover the analytical side, the behind the hood of Drive Me Crazy.
All right, so now I'm going to take a look at analytics and some other areas that can help this channel grow with, you know, the understanding of not impeding on the artistic license of Dennis and what he's trying to do with his channel. So one of the items that Famous mentioned was the idea of using a custom URL. In line with that, in an effort, one of the things that we noticed, if you go to YouTube and you do a search for Driving Me Crazy, his channel doesn't come up in that search. You actually either have to search for Driving Me Crazy channel, or, you know, find another way to actually get to his channel. And obviously that could prevent some people from finding his channel and potentially cost him some views. So one of the things that we have seen others use with success is the idea of using a hashtag. In this case, in all of his video keywords and perhaps his titles, depending on what he's comfortable doing, he can actually include the hashtag Driving Me Crazy. Using this repetitive keyword in all of his videos and on his channel will allow him to promote the concept of, hey, to find me on YouTube, simply search for hashtag Driving Me Crazy. He can also use that cross-platform to other social media accounts and make it a consistent way for people to find him on whatever platform they're on without having to remember different variations of his username to actually locate his stuff. Because obviously none of the metrics even start if people never make it there to view your content. And again, you can be the most creative channel in the world, but if people don't find a way to see you, then it's all for naught. So using that hashtag, implementing the hashtag Driving Me Crazy is certainly a way that will help people find him and enjoy his content. And like we mentioned, he does have great content, so you definitely want to find all the best ways to share that content with people. And one of the things to understand is metrics are not just about chasing the dollar. It's trying to get your content in front of the people who care about it as often as possible. Because why else create art if you're not interested in sharing it with others? So, you know, that's certainly something to keep in mind. All right, so the next thing we want to look at to improve this channel is keywords. To do so, we're going to take a look at one of Dennis's videos, one of his most recent videos, which is Art versus Analytics, to see what he's done with keywords and what we could possibly improve upon to get him more views and overall improved performance on his site in terms of the number of people who are seeing his content. So if we drill into this particular video, and you have some of the tools that are available to you installed. In this case, we have both TubeBuddy and vidIQ installed. vidIQ is going to give you some interesting snapshot statistics up here, and as well as TubeBuddy. And what we want to do using these tools is look at the actual keywords that are on this video. Now, looking at these keywords, I see a lot of single keywords. There are a couple multi part keywords or actual key phrases that he's included. So what we want to do is look at these phrases and keywords and see how they rank in terms of competition. Keyword research is one of the best tools you can use in the analytics world to help grow your site. It has no impact on the type of content that you're putting out. It's simply, once you have created your content, how you are able to get it in front of people who may be interested in watching it. So taking a look at this, and so right here we see he's chosen art versus analytics as his title. It's also here as a keyword. So we're just going to highlight that. I'm going to copy that. And then using TubeBuddy, there's a tool within TubeBuddy called Tag Explorer. Now what Tag Explorer does is allow you to enter a keyword or key phrase, click Explore, and it's going to show you a snapshot of the competition. This is going to help you decide whether this is the best keyword to include on your video, and also certainly whether or not you would then extend that keyword to the actual title of your video. In this case, we see in the keyword score down here that the search volume is low and the competition is average. This would typically make for a less than attractive option as a keyword. What we really want to do is, ultimately in a perfect world, we want high search volume and low competition. The closer we get to that, the more successful our keywords are going to be, because A, there's a lot of people looking for it, and B, you're not competing with a ton of people to get those, top 5 or 10 search results, or at least get on the first page in the top 20. So, thinking about this, we would then say, okay, well, art versus analytics is not necessarily the strongest keyword. So we then try to search for other possible key phrases that may work better and get us a better result. So right now he's talking about art and analytics, which is basically his concern in terms of analytics negatively impacting the creative side of his video. So, we can just do random, creativity and analytics. You really have to play around with them and kind of try to find key phrases that other people are using to search for this type of topic. So as you can see with that particular one, and that was just a random one, we see that the competition is very low, but the search volume is average, whereas last time search volume was low. So this comes up with a score of 76 out of 100, and it's actually a good overall keyword. The super competitive keywords is not where small YouTubers want to focus their efforts. What you're actually trying to do is determine, so if analytics is a extremely high volume, high competition keyword, you want to do a kind of a subset of analytics. In this case, we're doing not just analytics, but creativity and analytics. And we're trying to slice out a piece of the pie that we can compete with. You're not going to go out there and, compete against the big dogs who have, all kinds of different metrics in their favor, from their successfulness to the number of views and everything else they have going for them. They have a lot of momentum behind them and are much more likely to rank higher than you on those highly competitive keywords. So in this case, we chose one, creativity and analytics, and it came back with a good score. So anything that's good or very good are the kind of keywords that you want to target. Now what this tool does is it actually allows you, in this case this isn't my video, but one of the options, instead of copy into clipboard, it actually is insert into current video. So what you would do is you would sit on this page and say, okay, creativity versus analytics, hey, it has a good rating, insert it into my video, and then you would try the next one, and you basically want to do this for all the keywords that you choose to include in your video. Try to get as many goods as possible. If you feel like you've exhausted all the opportunities of good to very good keywords, then you can certainly throw in some average keywords to kind of include in that mix, but you definitely want to target those key phrases as a smaller YouTuber as much as possible, because that's going to let you focus on a smaller piece of the pie that has enough enough search volume to make it worth competing for in the first place, and also competition that's low enough that you have a fighting chance. So that's basically how we are going to use keywords to improve the opportunities for our channel to get the creativity that we're focused on in front of people who actually want to see it. Now Dennis happens to be a member of a number of small YouTuber communities, and the traffic that he's currently getting on these videos is probably due to his interaction with the community, which is excellent. Community is essential in success on YouTube, but he wants to be able to, and we want for him to be able to extend past those social media posts that says, hey, check out my video, or people are aware of him in that community to look. We want the people who have no idea who Dennis is out there doing a search for analytics, and they're concerned about whether it affects their creativity, to be able to stumble upon his channel and say, hey, this is some pretty good content, I want to subscribe. And that's basically what your keywords are going to do for you. It's not all the people that know you, know your content, and are already subscribers. It's those people who have no idea who you are. They're simply searching on a topic, and you want to be one of the options that comes back in those search results, that they can see and they can realize that there's quality here, and it may lead to a subscriber and somebody who regularly watches your videos. And the more you can do this with each of your videos, the more you are going to build that traffic from outside your core subscribers. Most channels have the majority of their views from non-subscribers, so being able to maximize the results of those search results is key in growing your channel. And the great thing about this, as we've previously discussed, is it doesn't impede upon your level of creativity. This is all something that you do after the fact. Yes, it's a little more legwork after you're done creating the video, but it certainly pays off in the long run by building content that is positioned in such a way that people can find it. So that's the way that channels who are focused on analytics related to growth use things like keyword research to help build their channel. And I think this is absolutely something that Dennis can use to improve the quality of his keywords while having absolutely no impact on the content that he's creating. And one of the other things when you're talking about keywords is you want to make sure that you are taking the highest rated keyword and using it in its entirety as the title of your video. This is also going to help people who are interested in a particular content determine whether or not to click on your video. So that's definitely something that will help the channel grow, without impacting anything else that's going on. So, now the other topic, and this is one that there's great debate on, and that is the call for action. Now, for some people, it is just autopilot. They do it on every video. And of course, the call of action is be sure to subscribe and click the bell notification and like and comment, etc. Some people find that incredibly annoying, and especially channels that are focused on art may think that just interferes with the video and kind of impacts the overall performance, and some people just choose to do it at the end of the video. Now, statistically speaking, doing it at the beginning of the video gives you a much better conversion rate in those particular items because a lot of people don't make it to the end of your videos. So what I would suggest is it's definitely a way to grow your channel. It is statistically proven, but in the case of Driving Me Crazy, perhaps finding some type of creative, comical, or otherwise artistic way to include that information without making it sound like a commercial right in the beginning of your video. There's all kinds of different ways that you do it. I mean, I know even for my some of the videos on my channel, I refer to it as the spiel's coming because it's just a repetitive thing, but it is something that has to do with human nature, not so much YouTube. But you can watch one of your favorite videos and enjoy what you're watching, but your brain doesn't say let's click on that like, because there's no reward for you other than knowing that it helps the actual creator that you're watching. So implementing that call for action earlier in your video, in whatever way you choose to deem that appropriate for what you're doing, can certainly help build the channel without interfering with the content itself. So these are a lot of great ways that you can use analytics and little tweaks to the channel to improve the channel. And I think Dennis at Driving Me Crazy can certainly implement these changes with minimal impact on the overall artistic direction that his channel is trying to go.
Well, that concludes episode 2 of the Talk Data to Me podcast. Hopefully you enjoyed it. You found something valuable. And if you did find something valuable, be sure to like and subscribe for more tips, more tutorials related to analytics and how you can grow your channel. Also, if you would like to be selected as a channel that gets reviewed in the upcoming episode, be sure to comment it below. Say that you would like to be reviewed. That's how we selected Driving Me Crazy, was from the episode 1 and just searching through the comments and selected them. We look forward to seeing more channels, more topics, more everything, because at the end of the day, analytics are across all types of channels, and that's something that we can all talk about and that we can all use to grow together. So thank you for joining in, and we will see you next time.